So Derrick Lewis versus Ciryl Gane just took place in the main event of UFC 265, Lewis versus Gane, and man, absolute domination by Ciryl Gane. He gets a third round TKO over Derrick Lewis, barely takes a punch the entire fight. I think in the first 2 rounds, he took an overall average of 1 shot per round against Derrick Lewis. Derrick Lewis had 1 significant strike landed in the first round, 1 significant strike landed in the second round, landed some decent shots in the third, but that's when Gane started putting it on Derrick Lewis after realising that Derrick Lewis was hurt to the leg kicks and hurt to the eye as well because of those stiff jabs of Ciryl Gane. He went for the finish, put down Derrick Lewis really badly, and finished him off by TKO in the third round. And I just want to say, I feel like there was one MMA YouTube predictor that said third round TKO for Ciryl Gane. I think there was one MMA predictor on YouTube that literally said Ciryl Gane dances around Derrick Lewis for 2 rounds and then goes in for the finish by TKO against a cage in the third round. I don't know who it could possibly be, but as soon as you guys find out who it is that said that, let me know, because that guy's clearly got a big old 9-incher. Either way, Derrick Lewis, Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane schooled him. Actually, according to the official stats, Derrick Lewis landed a little bit more than 1 strike per round. So the actual stats in the cage were a little bit off. 3 strikes for Derrick Lewis in the first, 5 strikes in the second, and 8 strikes in the third. But Ciryl Gane, 26-3 in the first round, 23-5 in the second round, 49-8 in the third round. I mean, it was complete and utter domination. And Gane even fought through some bad foul play from Derrick Lewis, may I add. An eye poke, a groin shot, a really bad groin shot as well by Derrick Lewis of all people. I'd really take a shot. I mean, other than Ngannou, I don't know who I would rather less have hit me in the balls than Derrick Lewis. Like, that must be the most painful thing in the world. Ciryl Gane fights through it, fights through an eye poke as well, and just schools Derrick Lewis, man. There's nothing really much else to it. He just went out there as soon as Derrick Lewis looked like he was loading up, which was so obvious, and it makes me realise how good Ciryl Gane really is, because he made Derrick Lewis look so obvious. Lewis would, like, load up, like, wade forward with, like, these big, very, very telegraphed motions to prove that he was about to go forward and try and hit Gane. And every single time he rushed forward, Gane just went, "Oh, you want to come hit me? I move out the way," or you know what I mean? Just shimmied out of the way. "Oh, you're loading up? I'm going to shimmy backwards. Oh, you've missed. Oh, that's it. Okay, back to leg kicks and jabs." Like, it was really weird how easy it was. Now, I know a lot of people that even picked Derrick Lewis knew that Ciryl Gane was probably going to outstrike him for a couple of rounds at least. Maybe just a round, or maybe just be outstriking him for the first round before getting hit by a fluke KO punch. A lot of people picking Derrick Lewis just did it based on punching power and nothing really to do with technique. But I get that, because at any point in that fight, Derrick Lewis could have landed a big shot and down could have gone Ciryl Gane. But what Ciryl Gane did so well is pressure Derrick Lewis backwards and make him have no power in his shots, clinch him against a cage. Ciryl Gane was either all the way in or all the way out. He was either at range, throwing teeps to the body and leg kicks as well, or he was all the way in, over-unders against a cage, good head position, landing knees to the thigh, landing some knees to the body as well. And you could just see in the second round that Ciryl Gane had kind of won. Because once you take that many leg kicks and that many body shots and you're sweating the way Derrick Lewis was and your eye is hurting you because you've been stung with loaded jabs, like, your power's just not going to be the same. You don't have the cardio for it. And one thing that Derrick Lewis, I think, really affected his cardio was he went for a bunch of takedowns. I think he went for 2 takedowns in the fight, and he really tried to get Ciryl Gane to the ground. They only listed one of them as a takedown attempt because Gane shimmied the first one off so easily. But with Lewis trying to shoot takedowns in the fight and failing, there's such an energy drainer in a fight, and Ciryl Gane just tuned him up really badly. Great combinations at the end, really slick work, really good defensive work in close as well. In close range, Gane still got his hands up. A couple of times Derrick Lewis would swing a haymaker that would KO a lot of other heavyweights on the roster, but Ciryl Gane would have his arm up to protect his head. Better defense than Cody Garbrandt, and he's a heavyweight compared to the bantamweight Cody Garbrandt. I mean, Ciryl Gane kept his hands up, kept good head movement, stayed on his feet, used good footwork whenever Derrick Lewis was obviously about to try and get after him. Picked at his legs with oblique kicks, went for leg kicks as well, front teeps as well, and I'll tell you this right now. After that performance, I'm picking Ciryl Gane against Francis Ngannou, and I don't care. You will say anything you want right now. Recency bias. Dude, it's different with Ngannou. I'm picking Ciryl Gane to beat Francis Ngannou. I think he can avoid Ngannou's power for 2 rounds and then take over the 3rd round onwards. I don't think he finishes Ngannou, or maybe he does, but he doesn't do it in the 3rd. If I had to pick a finish for Ciryl Gane against Francis Ngannou, I'd say 4th or 5th round, late in the 4th or any time in the 5th. Eventually Ngannou will slow down enough and be less dangerous enough for Gane to be able to go in for a finish without a care in the world. But I feel like Ciryl Gane's going to beat Ngannou. Everything is in his favour. Activity, youth, no damage in the game, getting better and better. He's newer to the game. He's only been in there 3 years. 3 years? 3 years in MMA? And he's a champion? I know it's an interim belt, but still. Ciryl Gane has a belt wrapped around his waist in the UFC, whatever belt that might be. And he's been in the game for 3 years. His next 3 months are going to be so crazy for improvement. He just made a big paycheck here. He's going to get pay-per-view points against Ngannou in the main event of the next matchup that they make. Probably around March or April or maybe February of next year. We'll see how it goes. But man, Ciryl Gane's the real deal. And I think he beats Ngannou. He's got good footwork. He's training with Ngannou's previous coach. If there's anyone who's going to know what annoys Ngannou or what works against Ngannou, first of all, it's going to be Ciryl Gane himself because he was training with Ngannou a whole bunch. Second of all, it's Ngannou's coach, who is now Ciryl Gane's main coach, and he's got Ciryl Gane as his interim champ, and he's going to try and teach Ciryl Gane how to beat Ngannou. And I know that Ngannou has changed some things, and he does look a little bit more technical recently, but I think that Ciryl Gane can stick on the outside, jab, and oblique kick, and leg kick, maybe at a lower rate than he did against Derrick Lewis, make it really, really boring for about 2.5 rounds, and then start just outlanding Ngannou pretty easily for the last 3. I think I would pick Ciryl Gane by unanimous decision, 3 rounds to 2, maybe 4 rounds to 1 if he wins the 2nd round as well. I think Ngannou's going to have to go out there and try and land some calf kicks, but man, Gane just shimmies out of the way. Great footwork in the heavyweight division. Light as all, like, so light out there. Looks like he's made out of springs. Like, there was a moment where Derrick Lewis sort of waded forward a little bit and Ciryl Gane literally just springed into the air and jumped backwards like a whole foot away from Derrick Lewis. Like, he's so ready to just avoid all punishment. One thing that worried me about Ciryl Gane in terms of a matchup with Ngannou is when Derrick Lewis would throw combinations and rush forward, Gane would turn his back on Lewis. And that can be a whole world of problems if you're against Ngannou swinging like a toddler, rushing towards you with his chin up in the air, throwing multiple combinations. I think Ngannou's got to rush forward like he did against Rosenstruik against Ciryl Gane. I don't think he's going to be able to be as patient as he was against Miocic. I think Gane, and I know it's recency bias, but I've picked him every step of the way, and people said Rosenstruik would beat him, and people said Volkov could beat him, and people said Derrick Lewis would beat him. In fact, a lot of people said Derrick Lewis is going to beat him. I think this is the heavyweight GOAT. Not now, not now. Give him 2 years. I bet you he is. That's my prediction in this video at the end of it. Ciryl Gane, in my opinion, will beat Francis Ngannou. And if he can beat Francis Ngannou, I don't see another heavyweight for at least 3 years having any chance against him in any way. And one thing that's good about Ciryl Gane, he is not a big name. He doesn't have a lot of money. So he's going to be an active champion who wants to defend his belt. He's not a superstar, so I doubt we'll see him in the Fast and Furious movies like what Ngannou's doing right now. I can just see Ciryl Gane getting the job done. He's more active than Francis Ngannou. He's way better striking-wise than Francis Ngannou. He knows how to get under Ngannou's skin. He knows what annoys Ngannou because he's been sparring with him for years. He knows what the power's like, really. I'm sure they've done some hard sparring rounds, so there's going to be some confidence there that he knows that he's taken big shots off of Ngannou and not gone down. I know that 4-ounce gloves are a little bit different, but still, I think Ciryl Gane's the man. He just got experience in a championship fight. Great footwork, great cardio, never slows down, doesn't mind being boring, which is a huge technique in MMA. If you don't mind being boring, you have a real good chance of being a good guy in a division, in any division in the UFC. If you succumb to fan pressure to make it more entertaining, you're just done, in all honesty. Like, if your game plan is to go out there and stick and move and wait it out and wait until the later rounds where you have a chance, you've got to be boring for a little bit. Even if it's not the most crazy fight in the world, you've got to just do those things, and Ciryl Gane is absolutely okay with that. He's more active than Ngannou, and I'll say this again. Ngannou wasn't there tonight. I'm sure he was in the gym, but every time I see Ngannou, and I'm sorry, I can't help but notice this, and I don't mean to poop on Ngannou here, because he just got an interim belt made when he was a champion in the division, but Ciryl Gane isn't back home in Ghana every three weeks. I'm sure he'll go back there now before Christmas and maybe do a little thing there. But not Derrick Lewis, Francis Ngannou, like, he goes to Cameroon like 4 times in the last few months to have a parade for himself every single time. He's in Fast and Furious 9. He's in another film with another person. He's in another film with another person. He's doing an advert for this company. I feel like Ngannou's a little bit too popular for a guy who's just got a belt. And he's going to be inactive by the time he takes on Ciryl Gane next year at some point. I'm sure it'll be. Maybe they turn him around for December. Who knows? I'd prefer it in December. That'd actually be really good. Ciryl Gane took little to no damage. That'd be great. I think Ciryl Gane dances around Ngannou for 2 rounds. Takes a couple of big shots. Maybe a couple of leg kicks. But I don't think he's going to be able to do too much. And I think Ngannou's going to miss a lot of shots. And that's going to make him gas out. And when you're against Ciryl Gane, couple front kicks to the body and a couple of leg kicks, and all of a sudden you're not walking the same way. And I think Gane would be able to do some work against Ngannou and get the win. But great matchup, great fight. This was expected either way, but some people thought that Derrick Lewis was still going to find a way to fluke the KO. But Ciryl Gane's just too good, and he took some shots. There was a moment in the 3rd round where Derrick Lewis sort of threw a massive overhand, and it landed sort of behind Ciryl Gane's ear, and Gane just took it, pushed Derrick Lewis back, landed a good jab with an uppercut left hook combo, knees to the body, hurt Derrick Lewis really badly to the body, then hurt Derrick Lewis to the eye. Some say back at the headshots. It was kind of the only thing on show was the back of Lewis's neck. And he tried to make him to the side, but Lewis was literally covering his whole head with his hands. And you're just not educatedly defending yourself in that moment. But Ciryl Gane, man, really, really good win. Really good win. I will say this. Lewis looked defeated after the 1st round. After he took a couple of hard leg kicks, and they started getting harder and harder as the fight went on. Like, Gane really started to chop at those leg kicks of Derrick Lewis. Chop at the legs of Derrick Lewis. After the 1st round, you could kind of see on Derrick Lewis's face, he was kind of looking for a way out of there. I'm sorry, Derrick Lewis fans. I'm just saying what I saw. Trying eye pokes, going for groin shots. He tried an eye poke a couple of times in that fight. It only landed once, but you could see him try and do it about 3 different times. He complained at one point when Gane landed a jab in his eye that it was an eye poke when it very, very clearly wasn't. I think he was trying to look for a break out there because he realized that he was in there with an absolute wizard at heavyweight. The way this guy moves, I think he's going to be the GOAT of the division. Sorry about recency bias, but I've been saying it for a while now, and now I'm saying it even more. Great win by Ciryl Gane. Him versus Ngannou in December, February, January, March. Any of those months will do. Main event of a pay-per-view. Good stuff. And it's good that Gane got a finish, because I'll tell you this. If Gane just went out there and scooted around for 5 rounds, we would lose so much momentum and hype. But he got a finish over Derrick Lewis. And for Derrick Lewis, fight Miocic. If you win, you're right back in the mix for a title shot. You already beat Curtis Blades. So if Blades beats Rosenstruck and Lewis beats Stipe Miocic, Lewis is right back in the mix for a title shot. And he will get a title shot unless Jones makes his way back. And Gane beats Jones. Fuck it, I'll trap that in there. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Click that button up there. Toodle pip. I'll see you later. Goodbye. Ciryl Gane is a savage.